Energy Transfer recently announced a secondary public offering of up to 100 million common units. Now, the really question is this going to be dilutive and dilute existing shareholders, or is this nothing to really worry about? Now, the short and simple way to answer that question is no, this is not going to cause dilution. However, it could cause some selling in the market around whatever the agreed upon price is for the sell price of those units. Typically, sometimes you see the stock price go down to whatever's agreed. Currently, I don't believe there's anything out there that says what CenterPoint is going to get for their units. So let's go a little bit more into what the press releases say for CenterPoint and Energy Transfer. Now, to kind of set the stage, Energy Transfer recently closed their merger with Enable Midstream Partners. Now, since that's closed, CenterPoint, which owned a large majority, 53% of Enable, those shares that they had in Enable are going to be converted over and have been converted over to 201 million of ET common stock. Now, when we go over to what was announced on the Energy Transfer side, they said their secondary public offering was going to be roughly 87 million common units with the option, a 30-day option to purchase 13 million more, getting us close to 100 million of possible common unit shares that are going to be sold in this secondary offering. So one thing you'll notice here is they actually have 201 million common shares, and they're basically able to get up to 100 million sold in this specific secondary offering. So if you do the math there, there's about 100 million more that CenterPoint is going to want to get rid of. And the reason why we say that is as we go down into this press release, the CEO of CenterPoint, I'm excited to share the announcement today. We're firmly on an accelerated path to reducing our exposure to the midstream industry. As he continues down here, as I shared during our 2021 Analyst Day, we are targeting a full elimination of our midstream exposure by the end of 2022. Now, I personally don't agree with CenterPoint in selling their shares. However, it's a strategic move for them. And for shareholders or unit holders of Energy Transfer, this could cause some price pressures. We saw that in post-market trading. That went down close to 4%. And then over today, it went actually higher than it was at closing. So right now, the market's not really weighing that into effect, which I think is perfectly fine. I think if we get a dollar amount of what those are actually going to be traded for, you could see Energy Transfer, let's say it's a higher number, it's going to go up to that number. More than likely, it's going to be lower than where they are trading at the announcement, which was around $8 a share. So let's say it's around $7.50. You could see Energy Transfer's price dip down. Now, again, this is not a dilutive transaction. These are shares that were just being held. And essentially in the secondary offering, they're going to go out, grab those, and find buyers for it, or this is what you would typically see is they'll go out, find some buyers of it, and it's a little bit different than when they go out there and do block transactions where they find buyers and match them in the larger market. This is kind of off the exchange in a way, but it's letting them know that these shares are transferring hands. So for Energy Transfer specifically, you could see this happen again, and at least we know, at least if they stick to their plan, see this exact same thing happen possibly one or two more times, depending on how they break up the sell of the remaining 100 million shares that CenterPoint will still own after this secondary public offering closes up. So just be aware that this is not going to be the first time. There's actually at least one other time that this will occur. And so just be aware, it's not a dilutive transaction. They're not dropping 100 million shares onto the market and raising money. In fact, Energy Transfer may purchase some of these shares back, which will actually give you more ownership with one share than you previously had. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. I do videos on personal finance, investing, and stock analysis. And if you like this video or found it helpful, please hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. My name is Frank Finance, out.